In the last few lectures, we have learned about the properties of the water. Pure water has no color, no taste, no smell, and water is transparent. As well as water take the shape of its container in which we pour it. Water spread on a flat surface, as well as water flow down a slope. I have given you the view of the experiment or activity which is given over there. I hope you have completed and finished it. Clear that? Now today, what a new topic we are going to learn in this lesson? It's the 3 states of water. 3 states of water. Now before that, first understand about what is state. Now state means what? State, a form in which a substance or material may be found. Not a state of any of the country. Now here the state means the form in which a substance may be found. Any of the way it can be found in the surrounding on the earth. Now when we think about the water, we usually think of the water in a liquid form. Liquid form like drinking water. Clear? Liquid form then. We already know that 70% of the earth is covered with, yes, water and 30% land. Water has how many states? 3 states. Basically, it is solid state, liquid state and gaseous or gas. It is that 3 states of water we are going to learn in this today's period. Clear? We find water in liquid state. Clear? The water we use every day is in liquid state. Water in liquid state, or we can say form, is very important for all living beings. We have already discussed about it. In which lesson? Yes, lesson number 8. Clear? We have already discussed about it. Many uses are important of the water, not only for our body, but for each and everyone in the surrounding. We use water for many different purposes like drinking, cleaning, swimming, washing and many more other purposes. And it is used in, yes, agriculture as well as in industries. Now water can change from one form to another by heating or cooling. Clear? Now state of water depends on the temperature, either high or low. Then only the water can change into the different state or different form. Same way, cloud, rain, snow, all are made up of some form of water. Now what the clouds contain? The clouds contain water droplets. What the snow contain? Yes, snow contain ice crystals. And rain, tell me, which form is the rain we can find? Yes, it is a liquid form. Now, one by one, we are going to learn about a different state of water, how it changes, what is the name given over it. Now, basically, first we are going to start with the cooling. Now, change of water into ice on cooling is called freezing. You have already learned about it in 2nd standard. Clear? So, change of water into ice on cooling is called freezing. When liquid is cooled down. When it's cooled down? When it gets into contact with the low temperature or when the temperature is reduced, it freezes it become a ice, or what we say, it become a solid state of water. Or easily what we can say in that solid state, how it turn? When water becomes very cold, it freezes. That is why it turn into ice. Clear that? It turn into ice. So when water turn into the ice, when its term is freezing. Its term is freezing. It come into the contact with the low temperature. Clear that? Low temperature. Always remember the change of state. Always dependent on the which different temperature, high and low. Same way, melting. The change of ice into water on heating is called melting. On heating, it means they will get the high temperature. In that time, solid state of water. It means ice. We are talking about here ice. When ice gets into the contact with the high temperature, or when we put it on the heat, it melts. The process from ice to water, or we can say solid state to liquid state, it's known as melting. It's known as melting. So, change of ice into water on heating is called melting. When we have taken out of the ice from the freezer, from where we get the ice, we have to freeze the water in the freezer at home. We have a refrigerator, fridge in our home. In that, our another compartment, freezer is there. That is a less temperature over it as compared to the other part of the fridge. So there we freeze the water and we get ice. So when we have taken out the ice from the freezer, it comes into the contact with the higher temperature outside, because the freezer low temperature, outside high temperature. So it gets heat from the air around it and starts melting. Clear? And start melting. And what process you have seen here? Here solid change into liquid when it get higher temperature. Clear that? The two processes we have just now learned. What is when water get low temperature, it freeze and it turn into the solid form. When solid form in terms of water is ice, it gets high temperature or on heat, it started melting, again it turn into the water. Now easy way you can see this freezing and melting with the example of ice cream as well as ice candy. When you have taken out the ice cream from the freezer, within a few minutes started melting, because in the freezer low temperature, when we have taken out room temperature, or we just get the heat in around the air and started melting. Get it everyone? Freezing and melting, how the states of the water changes because of the heat, different heat. Clear? Now again, next process is what? As we get again the water. Now same way, when the change of water into water vapor on heating is called evaporation. You are knowing it. Yes, second standard you have already done it. Clear? So change of water into water vapor on heating is called evaporation. Or we can say a liquid change to gas on heating is called evaporation. How? Because it comes into the contact with high temperature. So when water get heated, here it turn into gas or gaseous form of the water. This process is known as evaporation. What we known as evaporation is known as evaporation. Clear? Now easy way, when we boil water, milk or prepare tea, either your mother, whoever, or even me or anyone who are preparing a tea or boiling the water or milk, what happened at that time? We can see a steam on the top of the vessel. What we can see? A steam on the top of the vessel. Now steam, nothing but a water vapor. Clear? So when the water gets heated and it turns into the water vapor or steam, this process is known as evaporation. What known as evaporation? Now when we boil the water, or when we just cook the vegetable also, the steam come out. Clear that? Now when we cover the boiling water or any of the container, this is when the steam come out, what will you see with the lid? When you cover it with the lid, what will you see? You will find a tiny droplets on the inner side of the lid. Tiny droplet. Now what is it? The steam touches the cool lid, it changes back to water. This process is called as condensation. Change of water vapor into water on cooling is called as condensation. So from water vapor to water. Now this process is known as condensation. Now here you see, low temperature we get ice. High temperature, ice melt into the water. Now again, when water gets high temperature or heat, the process is known as evaporation and we get the gaseous form of the water in terms of what we say, water vapor or gas. Then again, when water vapors cools or it come to the which temperature? Yes, low temperature. This process is known as condensation. Clear that? So these are the three states of water in which the temperatures, and on that they depend on the temperature on which we can get the different states of water in our life. So what you have learned today? The three states of water as well as how it changes and give the different other form. Now I will give you the fill in the blanks and the difficult word. These are your today's difficult word and fill in the blanks. You are writing it in the notebook as well as you are going to write the definition of states and the water vapor from the page number 61. And two experiments is given over there. One with the ice. This you can easily do it. But other you have to do it with your parents' supervision. Any of the elder one should be near to you. No need to you have to especially do that experiment. For this, when your mama cooks any vegetable or anything, or even mama prepare a tea or boil a milk or the water, you can do that experiment at that time only. But elders should be near to you.